You snapped at your coworker yesterday, the one who asked a simple question. You have no idea why you reacted that way. You apologized, but the shame lingered all day. Your shadow knows why. And in the next 6 minutes, I'm showing you what shadow work actually is, the brain science that proves it works, and the 5-minute practice you can do at your desk. No therapist required. Shadow work is about integrating the parts of yourself you learned to reject, the anger you weren't allowed to express, the neediness you learned to hide, the ambition you were told was selfish. These aren't gone. They're running your life from the unconscious. Carl Jung called it the shadow. Everything about yourself you pushed away because it didn't feel safe. And here's the spiritual truth. These rejected parts don't disappear. They show up as triggers, patterns, and conflicts on repeat. That coworker who asked the question, they activated something you've been suppressing for years. But when you're triggered in a meeting, integrate your shadow doesn't help. Here's where brain science comes in, not to replace the magic, but to show you how it actually works. What spirituality calls the shadow, neuroscience calls unconscious patterns and automated responses. When a part of you gets rejected early in life, your brain creates a neural pathway that suppresses it, but it doesn't disappear. It fires automatically below your conscious awareness, influencing every decision you make. This is why your triggers feel instant. They are. Same truth, different language. So how does your shadow show up at work? You can't delegate. You micromanage every project. You stay late redoing work that was already fine. You say yes to everything because saying no feels like admitting you're not capable. And you're exhausted, but the thought of stopping makes you anxious. This is the overachiever pattern. Spiritually, you made success your identity because your worthiness felt conditional. You learned that producing equals being loved. Your brain-wired achievement to safety, probably in childhood. Every time you succeeded, you got approval. Every time you rested, love got withdrawn. The shadow here is your fear of worthlessness. Your ambition is beautiful, but when it's driven by the terror of not being enough, it will burn you out. And until you integrate this rejected part, the part that fears it's unlovable without achievement, you'll keep proving yourself to people who already believe in you. You agree to things you don't want to do. You apologize constantly, even when you've done nothing wrong. You make yourself smaller in meetings so others feel comfortable. You smile through resentment because expressing your truth feels dangerous. This is the people-pleaser pattern. Spiritually, you suppressed your boundaries and authentic desires because keeping the peace felt more important than being honest. Your nervous system learned that compliance equals safety. Saying no triggers intense anxiety because your brain associates boundaries with rejection. The shadow here is your suppressed anger and unexpressed truth. Your kindness is real, but when it costs you your authenticity, it's not sustainable. Until you integrate the part of you that has needs, opinions, and limits, you'll attract people who take advantage of your yes. Which one are you? Comment 1 or 2. Here's the truth. You need both approaches. Spiritual shadow work without neuroscience can leave you spinning in insight without change. Neuroscience without spiritual depth can change behavior, but leave your soul empty. Here's your 5-minute shadow work practice. When you get triggered at work, frustrated, anxious, resentful, pause and ask, what part of me is this activating? What did I learn to reject about myself? Then ask, when did I first feel this way? What early experience created this? Write both in your phone notes. The spiritual wound is the neural pathway. They're describing the same thing. Visualize the younger version of you who first learned to hide this part. Tell them, you're safe now. This part of you is welcome. I'm not rejecting you anymore. This is pattern interruption. You're creating a new neural pathway by choosing a different response. Healing the shadow is nervous system reprogramming. Practice expressing the rejected part 5 times this week in small ways. If your shadow is anger, say, that doesn't work for me. If your shadow is neediness, ask for help. If your shadow is ambition, own your accomplishments out loud. Your brain needs evidence that expressing this part doesn't lead to rejection. The universe needs to see you embodying your wholeness. Same practice, same result. You're not broken for having a shadow. Everyone does. Understanding how your unconscious patterns work gives you power over what used to control you. That's sacred and salaried. Neuroscience-backed spirituality for women who refuse to choose between career success and soul alignment. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video, the 7-minute morning ritual that changes your entire workday. Your shadow isn't something to fix, it's something to integrate. Your brain knows how. Your soul is ready. See you in the next one.